Hello all. So, foggy, drizzly, wet, drippy, 53 degrees here in San Francisco. But today we're going to talk about a little bit of reality. Very soon the James Webb telescope will be in operation, and we will have a chance, a very good chance, if there's life out there, a different form of what we call intelligent life, which can mean almost nothing, but if we find life there, having to cover you up because it's drizzly wet. So let's say we have the James Webb and we find another life not too far away, another life, intelligent life. There's a lot of questions that would arise if that was to be the case. Well, the new life forms, do they trash their environment? Will they be friendly? What do they consume for energy? Now, that I have to talk about. What will they consume, produce energy? All life has to use energy to survive, one way or another. They use it from the sun and from the air that we breathe to get enough energy to survive, plus the food intake. So like us, we use fossil fuel for most of our energy sources, but we also use nuclear and hydropower and a few other sources of energy to make energy so that we can survive in the comfort of the way we do now. Now another question is, how do they communicate? Would it be through radio waves? Well, let's talk about that for a minute. SETI, which is doing nothing but searching the radio spectrum out into space, has now scanned over 10,000 different galaxies. And what have they found? Absolutely nothing. SETI's calling it the big silence. I wonder if they don't communicate through radio waves. Maybe that's too you can't get enough distance through radio waves. You can get enough distance through very bright light. So you could make some kind of screen that sits in front of the sun, and then you would encode, send a message to somebody else in another star system the same way. They would receive it and they could transmit it the same way using light instead of radio wave. But what about the big one? What about neutrinos? Wonder if you could communicate through neutrinos. Neutrinos pass through everything, so there'd be nothing that would get in the way of the communications. That's very futuristic. But someday in the future, probably some race will communicate with neutrinos or use neutrinos to get energy to run their society. I think it is the future, the faraway future, if humans survive. Now, another reason there might be the big silence is, are we too late? In the big scheme of things, we're sort of late on the game of the Big Bang. Maybe all life happened 2 or 3 billion years ago and fizzled out, because intelligent life tends to fizzle out because of their disagreement with each other, and they go to war and they kill each other, right? So is that the case? The thing about humans going into space, it's almost a have-to thing, because if we were to survive, unfortunately our planet has less than 1 billion years left before the seas will become so hot they'll boil away and all life will cease to exist on our planet. Less than 1 billion years, we have to get out of here. Now the other question is, have we been visited by extraterrestrial life? And the question keeps coming up, what about Oumuamua? The cigar-shaped or pancake-shaped asteroid that came through and launched around our sun a different direction, and then as it kept going out, it started to change direction again. Now, they can't explain that in a scientific, natural way. So a lot of them are saying, well, it must be something unnatural. Now, as Oumuamua came through, we did listen for radio signals or any kind of signal from it, and we heard nothing. So the question is, has any alien life discovered Earth yet? And have we actually discovered alien life but haven't realized we have? Your thoughts on this? What do you think the situation with that is? Why the big silence? Now SETI says they've only done just a tiniest bit of survey through the whole galaxy. They've hardly touched it. But it's funny that over 10,000 galaxies and not a single signal or any sighting of intelligent life at all. No Dyson spheres, no funny starlight. Now we're seeing a little bit on one of the stars, but they think it's dust that's making it blink a little bit. But all in all, we're just not seeing huge amounts of life. What we thought we would find through Star Trek doesn't seem to be so. At least not that we've noticed so far. But with the new telescopes coming online now, it's gonna, if there's life out there, we'll probably be able to spot it pretty soon. Kind of exciting in one way. In another way, once we discover it, then what? What happens then? Do people lose it? Does it? What does that do for religion? And what does it do for us, our beliefs? Do we have to suddenly change our beliefs and think that we better start acting a little bit less aggressive and more passive towards things? What do you think? Well, on this wet and drizzly day, I appreciate your ups, your downs, your new subscribers, and definitely the comments. And until next time.